Hi, welcome to Midwest Magic Cleaning. My name is Booty Fartbutt. Understand that the pictures you're seeing were cleaned into this condition. I went down into the basement, which is going to require some explanation because it doesn't just get dark down here physically because of the lack of lighting. It gets kind of dark down here. When you clean for a hoarder, you find out their stories in chunks. You will get the initial story from the person who asked for your help, and it usually goes in one of two or three different ways. Either one, they've hit their rock bottom and they admit they have a hoarding problem and they ask for help. Or two, they blame the hoard on other things, like my kids made the mess and I can't keep up with it. My husband is a hoarder and I can't get him to stop. I had parents who passed away and I got all their stuff. Then another family member passed away and I got all their stuff, and then the hoarding happened by accident because everything got dumped on me. As you gain more and more of their trust over the course of days, they tend to loosen up a little bit and start talking about the actual problems that they personally have. And that's an extremely important moment because recognizing and admitting that you have a problem is always the first step to recovery. It's the same thing in addiction. It's the same thing in hoarding. The second way that you find out their story is by going through the actual hoard. And you can see stories happening as you find more and more stuff. And that's what happened in this basement. In this basement, I discovered that they are what I refer to as apocalyptic preppers. In my experience, I've found two different types of prepping. You have one type of person who preps in case a storm knocks out power for a week. So they'll save things like water, extra food, canned goods, dry goods, enough to get them through the week until the power's restored. The second type of prepper that I run into, and this is a little bit more common in hoarders, is prepping out of fear of a societal collapse, or in many cases, the actual Armageddon. They believe that in their lifetimes, Armageddon is going to happen and that there will be a full-blown good versus evil war on a religious scale. Those people tend to save an extraordinary amount of supplies. They hoard vitamins, medication, first aid kits, water, food, and you don't really realize how severe it is until you start cleaning things like this up. So for instance, in this basement, I found 30 bottles of hydrogen peroxide unopened. There were about 50 jugs of water. You'll notice in the background that there are white 5-gallon buckets with blue lids on them. Those are all filled with food, and there are about 30 of those buckets. Now, the problem with that in most houses is that there's not enough space to store all of it. This house didn't really have much of a problem storing this specific stuff. It's that they stored everything else on top of it and made all of that inaccessible.